Hi everyone, CinCin Nona here. Silu Nachima Ayibawan, and welcome to my channel. So I have two guilty pleasures. One is watching TikTok videos and YouTube videos late at night, primarily food videos. Are any of you guys guilty of watching TikTok and YouTube videos late at night? Two, ordering from Uber Eats or any of the delivery apps when I'm super hungry because I don't want to cook. Delivery fees are like $20 now because of the weather. I'm not going to spend that much money on delivery. So in this vlog, I'm going to make 3 different breakfasts inspired by the TikTok and YouTube videos that I watched late last night. I will be making a full English, American, and Sri Lankan style breakfast. So I'll be cooking and sharing the recipes in this video. I'm definitely not going to present that beautifully today, but I do want to try and recreate some of these breakfast items that I've seen in hotels and resorts all around the world. Because I can't travel right now, it doesn't mean that I can't have a breakfast like that at home. It does remind me of the breakfasts that I've had in Sri Lanka in the hotels and resorts. The selection, the presentation, the taste, chef's kiss. All right, y'all, so let's start cooking. I'm starting by preparing a Sri Lankan breakfast of indiappa, pol roti, and curries. First up, just gonna boil an egg, soft boil for about 6 minutes in boiling water. Pretty basic, super easy. Next is our ala kiri holi, which is a yellow potato curry. Heat up half a teaspoon of sunflower oil, then add a 4th teaspoon fennel seeds, a small stick of cinnamon, 3 to 4 curry leaves, and fry for a minute or 2 before adding half a chopped onion and 2 to 3 sliced garlic. Mix everything together and you'll start to smell the goodness all in your kitchen. Next, add and mix in a 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of unroasted curry powder, and with salt and pepper to taste. Sri Lankan spices work best for these curries, and there are online Sri Lankan grocery sites that cater to both East and West Coast in the US, which is what I do. Add 1 large potato, peeled, washed, and cut into large pieces. The serving size for all of these recipes are for about 1 to 2 people, so feel free to adjust the amounts. Make sure the potatoes are well coated before adding 1 cup of coconut milk and 1 cup of water. Mix one last time before adding in 4 to 5 sliced Thai chilies or based on your spice preference. Cover and let it simmer on low for about 10 minutes or until the potatoes are fully cooked. After about 10 minutes on low, uncover and squeeze about half a teaspoon of lime juice. The lime juice will give a little tanginess to balance the heaviness of the coconut milk. Cover one last time for about 5 minutes and turn off the heat. Yellow potato curry done. Next up, tempered dal curry. Next is our paripu tel dala, which is a tempered dal or lentil curry. For this, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil. Heat the oil, then add a teaspoon of mustard seed and 4 to 5 cut dry red chili. Let these fry in the oil for about 2 to 3 minutes or until the chilies turn a darker red. Add in 4 to 5 curry leaves and half a pandan leaf, which I've cut it into pieces, but stand back. As you can see, the oil is popping off. Carefully add in half a chopped onion, 3 to 4 sliced garlic, and mix well. Next, add about 1.5 cups of dry red lentils, mix and fry for about 3 to 4 minutes. This is going to give a nice roasted flavor and the color of the dish starts to form during this process. Next, I'm adding in spices, so a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and salt to taste. Mix to incorporate everything well, then add enough water to cover all of the lentils. Mix, cover and simmer on low-medium heat for about 10 minutes. After about 10 minutes, uncover and your lentils will expand and soften. That's when you know they're done. Add more salt if needed at this point. The curry will thicken as it cools down, so don't be too alarmed if it looks a little watery. Dal curry done. Next up, the coconut sambal. Next is our pol sambal, which is a coconut sambal. I'm using a fresh coconut and attempting to break it successfully here. Kind of a fail, but managed to drink some of the water. Frozen shredded coconut will also work, but do not use the sweet coconut flakes for this dish. Using a coconut scraper, which you can find on Amazon, grate each coconut shell and please be careful, the blades are sharp. To me, shredded coconut looks so beautiful, fluffy, powdery, just like snow, y'all. Keep about half a cup of coconut aside for our next dish and pour the rest into a medium-sized bowl. Add half a chopped red onion, 1 diced tomato, and 1 chopped habanero, or you can use another type of chili like Thai chili or jalapeno for a milder spice taste. For spices, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of red chili powder, 1 to 2 tablespoons of crushed red chili flakes, and salt to taste. Definitely add or reduce based on your spice preference. The best way to mix is by hand, and wear a food glove if you have one. Next, squeeze the juice of half a small lime and continue to mix until all the coconut turns a beautiful orange color. The taste should be spicy and a little sour from the lime juice for that sambal taste. This dish is served chilled or at room temperature. Coconut sambal done. Next up, the onion sambal. Next is our katta sambal, which is a spicy onion sambal. It's best to use a mortar and pestle or a food processor for preparing this dish. I've got 1 chopped red onion and I will be mincing this almost to a paste, but please do not use a bullet or a blender because blending onions will make the taste bitter. Trust me. Next, I'm adding a katta sambal blend of crushed red chili flakes, chili powder, and dried fish pieces. I ordered this online, but you can certainly make this at home without the dry fish. Squeeze the juice of half a small lime and combine all ingredients with the pestle until you form a paste-like consistency. Taste for salt and extra lime juice if needed. Onion sambal done. Next up, coconut roti. Next is our pol roti, which is a coconut roti. Sift 1 cup of flour into a medium-sized bowl and mix in 1 tablespoon of salt. Next, add half a cup of shredded coconut, 3 to 4 chopped Thai chili, 4 to 5 sliced curry leaves, and a 4th chopped red onion. Mix well, and from here, slowly add about 1 to 2 teaspoons of hot water and mix by hand. Mix and add water until the dough has a paste-like consistency, then start to knead a few times to form a ball. Add 1 tablespoon of oil and coat the dough by rolling it into a ball. I'm making about 4 mini rotis, so I've divided my dough into 4 sections. Pull each section and form a mini ball. Roll out the dough using a roller to form about a 1/4 inch thick roti. I'm using the rim of a small bowl to form rotis, but you don't have to do this. I just like mine to look uniform for presentation. Heat your skillet on medium-high and brush a little oil in the pan if you're not using a nonstick. Carefully add each roti and cook for about 4 minutes on each side or until you see a medium dark brown side. That's when you know to flip it over. Repeat on the other side. Pretty easy, right? Coconut roti done. Next up, the string hoppers. Next is our indiapa, which are string hoppers, and it's hot water dough of rice or wheat flour formed into lace molds and steamed. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to prepare these from scratch, so I bought a frozen box from the Indian store. They have brown or white noodles, and I chose the brown for this morning's breakfast. I place them on a plate, add a couple of ice cubes, and cover with a wet and dry paper towel, then microwave for about 3 to 4 minutes. The texture should be soft and fluffy. Since these are pretty much cooked, all we have to do next is plate everything up. This breakfast definitely brings me back to the island of Sri Lanka and the amazing foods and spreads they offer at hotels and beach resorts all over the country. Of course, there's always a feast at every meal when you visit family, and these dishes reminds me of those times, so I can't wait to go back when it's safer to travel again. So here's our breakfast plate number 1. Let's prepare a full English breakfast next. For our English breakfast, starting off by warming up English-style beans that is tomato-based. I found this at my local grocery store in the international section. My dad grew up eating beans on toast, if anyone from the UK knows, but this is the flavor he remembers growing up. Beans are warmed up. Next are the hash browns. I'm going to air fry 2 frozen hash brown patties at 375 for about 10 minutes. While that's cooking, let's prepare the sauteed mushrooms. In a skillet on medium heat, add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, then add 2 cups of mushrooms. It may seem a lot, but these will shrink and cook down. I'm adding a couple of teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce and low sodium soy sauce for both flavor and color. Saute for about 4 to 5 minutes or until the mushrooms are caramelized. Keep the mushrooms aside, and in the same skillet, add half a tomato and grill flesh side down until slightly charred. I don't want to waste any of the flavor in the skillet, so that's why I'm using the same pan. I also cut a small slice of the end of the tomato so it has a flat base to sit on the plate. Grilled tomato done, let's take out the hash brown patties and air fry 2 Polish sausages at 375 for 12 minutes. I've also drizzled a little olive oil for additional flavor. Our next meat dish is the bacon. In a skillet, I'm frying up thick cut bacon, but keeping it less crispy and more on the softer side. I'm using a foil to cover the skillet so it has a little air coming through to maintain the texture I want it to be. Once the bacon is cooked, remove and drain the excess oil. Next, let's make some eggs. In a small skillet on medium heat, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of olive oil and adding in 2 eggs. To prevent any shells going in, I crack each egg into a small bowl first. I'm seasoning my eggs with salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder, and adding a tiny bit of water to baste/steam the eggs. Cover until the egg whites are cooked, then uncover. And the eggs are done. The yolks will be cooked and slightly runny when you cut into them. So good. Finally, toasting a couple of pieces of white bread, and we'll be cutting off the crusts and in triangles. Time to plate up! My mom prepares the best full English breakfast for my dad at least once a month, so I've gotten used to cooking this meal myself. For anyone who is familiar with this breakfast, I'm sure you've noticed I did not include the blood sausage. A, we don't have this item where I live, and B, if we did, I'm not a big fan of it. But this is definitely a spread and plenty of delish flavors on this plate already. So here's breakfast plate number 2. Let's prepare an American breakfast next. For our American breakfast, we gotta start off by making some pancakes. Yes, I know making from scratch is way better, but it's lazy Saturday, and this Bisquick mix is off the charts so good and super easy and quick to make. So I'm adding 1 cup of cold water into the dough and we'll shake for a batter consistency. I'm using my griddle and brushing a little butter onto the heated surface. No griddle, no problem. A frying pan will work just fine. I'm pouring batter to make small pancakes. Usually I'll make bigger size ones, but I've got a lot of other items for breakfast, so want to give all of them a chance to be in the spotlight. Once I see bubbles forming on the top, I flip the cakes over and add a little butter on top for some extra goodness. Butter makes everything taste better, right? These look so good. Pancakes are done. Next, using the griddle again to cook up some potatoes O'Brien. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil and about 2 cups of frozen breakfast blend of potatoes, onions, and red and green bell peppers. This is one of my favorite potato dishes and so convenient as well. To this, add salt and pepper to taste, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and mix well. Melt 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and this will keep the potatoes moist, and again, butter makes everything taste better. Potatoes are done. Let's air fry some bacon. I've got thick cut bacon and we'll be air frying at 375 for 12 minutes. Different than the English breakfast bacon, the air fryer will give a crispy texture. While the bacon is cooking, let's prepare the final meat on the stove. I've got 3 maple flavored chicken sausages and we'll be cooking them in a skillet on medium-high heat with just half a cup of water. The water will cook the sausage and evaporate, creating nice, slightly charred sausages without using any oil or fat to cook in. Last but not least, our cheesy scrambled eggs. So in a small skillet on medium-low heat, melt a pat of butter and coat the pan before adding in 2 whisked eggs and about 1/4 of a cup of egg whites, which gives a more fluffier scrambled egg in my opinion. Add salt and pepper to taste and 2 slices of yellow American cheese. Break the cheese apart slightly and gently fold the eggs. The more gentle, the more fluffy and soft they'll be. Turn the heat off and let the eggs cook in the remaining heat. This will also prevent the eggs from scorching and becoming hard. I'm slicing half an avocado for the scrambled eggs. Some people might say this is Cali style, but I just love avocados on scrambled eggs. Alright y'all, let's plate up. Growing up, I wasn't much of a lunch person, so my dad would make sure that I had breakfast every morning before school, and he wanted to make sure that I also was full, so he'd prepare this kind of meal for me, alternating between oatmeal and waffle days, of course. I think he felt super proud because he doesn't know how to cook that well, but he can make a delicious breakfast all the time. I think my mom loves it too because she gets a break too in the kitchen, early mornings especially. So here's breakfast plate number 3. I think it's time to dig in, y'all. Let's go. All the food is so good and I have plenty to share and eat all day long. I didn't realize my camera wasn't recording during some of my eating parts, so sorry about that. But I can assure you it was all so delicious. Alright y'all, I'm ending the vlog here. I'm really stuffed, but don't worry, the food's not gonna go to waste. The plan is to veg out on the couch all day long, watch movies, TV shows, and basically eat all day. I'm really into Sri Lankan teledramas these days. I'll show you a few of the shows that I'm currently watching.
ඔයා කෑවෙත් නැද්ද?
නෑ මම මේ කෑම එක දිගෑරපු ගමන් තමයි මහත්තයාට කතා කරේ.
හරි. මම විනාඩි 5කින් ආපහු කෝල් එකක් ගන්නවා. මට විනාඩි 5ක් දෙන්නකෝ.
හරි. බොරු මහත්තයා.
මොකද්ද බොරු?
ඔව්. බොරු මහත්තයා කියන්නේ බොරු කියන මහත්තයාට. මම තියන්නම්.
XoXo fokus macam ya kamu නොදන්නේ ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් කතා කරන්න යන්න දුවේ දපා fokus නෙමෙයි fokus හරි ඔබ දන්නවා කියන්න වෙනවා නෑ ඇයි බං අර මාළේනේ එක දවසක් ඇවිල්ලා කිව්වේ බං අර මොකද්ද මේ කොකනට් මොකම වෙලාද? ඔබ කියවපන් ඔබ. අතන ළමයා මන් දිහා බලාගෙන hina වෙනවා ඊයේ නාට්‍ය දැකලාද කොහෙද? මොකද? බලන්ටි. චුරු පෑනක්වත් නැහැනේ. මොකද බලන් පෑ? අස්සල කිලෝ තේම. එනවා එච්චෝ වේද.
Excuse me.
Hi. Irisia.
Hari-hari lupa ya, hari-hari lupa ya, lupa ya.
දෙයියු බුදු වගේ කියන පරක් කොට පිට වෙන්නේ මේ මිනිස්සු ඔබ ඉන්නේ ඉඳම හොඳයි. නැත්නම් මේ අපේ මිනිස්සුන්ට අච්චු පිට අච්චු කරලා.
එතකොට මං අද ඉන්න ඕනේ නැද්ද? අද නම් මට ඉන්න බෑ. ඊයේ කිව්වේ දැන් යන්න. නැත්නම් ඇන්ජලා මිස් එයිම හොයාගෙන ගෙදරට.
අයියෝ ඔක්කොම තමයි. පුඩි කාලේ ආගේ පැටර්න් එක තෝකම.
I hope you all like this video and also get to create these recipes at home. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, cook with love, live to eat, and enjoy. Until next time, Ayubowan.